The South Asian Regional Initiative for Energy, or SARI, was initiated by United States Agency for International Development, USAID, in the year 2000 to enhance energy security in South Asia. Presenting the milestones and journey. With the turn of the century, SARI emerged with a simple and rational vision to ensure an energy-secure future for every country in South Asia through cooperation to tide over deficits by trading surplus clean energy through cross-border electricity trade or seabed, which thus became the watchword.
Nepal and Bhutan could not develop their hydropower unless there is a market for the product that they make. And once we say that India and Bangladesh will be good markets, then they could develop that. And as a consequence, they earn enough money to develop their economy further.
Earlier phases of SARI focused on building consensus around power trade, undertaking technical studies to identify transmission corridors, and strengthening human and institutional capacity to promote seabed in the region. In 2012, the initiative entered into the fourth phase, South Asia Regional Initiative for Energy Integration, wherein the goal became an integrated grid and regional power market with focus on 5 nations: Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, or BBINS.
We carried out number of analytical studies, consensus building activities, and brought out number of reports. This was done through almost 120 events and 50 reports.
Studies on how to fortify economic benefits accruing to each member nation from energy integration were undertaken. Subsequently, the initiative focused on ground-level implementation requirements such as regional frameworks.
If trades are to come, a large amount of trade is to take place in South Asia, then this is government level institutions would take care of the policy side, whereas the coordination at the field level needs to be done by regional institutions at the field level, like the South Asia Forum of Transmission Utilities, South Asia Forum of System Operators, South Asia Forum of Energy Markets. So these institutions would really be helpful in seamless flow of electricity.
SARI provided technical support to Council of Experts of Energy Regulators at SAR, as well as engaged Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, BIMSTEC, and South Asia Forum for Infrastructure Regulation, SAFIR, in promoting seabed.
SARI has contributed in preparation and harmonization of policy, regulation and operational modus operandi of energy in this region. I feel proud to be the core member of this initiative, thanks to USAID, IRADE and the people who led this initiative for the last 22 years.
One emerging need was having a common minimum grid code for system operations to ensure common compliance protocols for grid stability and security. With successive stakeholder consultations, this common minimum grid code is ready to be presented to SAFIR Executive Committee. Presently, the power exchange or day-ahead market exists only in India and was meant for national trades in India. The Government of India allowed neighboring countries to trade power through this exchange.
Bilateral trades are already happening. The unidirectional power flow has already turned into bidirectional, and the bilateral agreements and the cooperations are already being at advanced stage of turning into multilateral agreements, and this will eventually lead to regional cooperation and regional trade of power, and power exchange will be the heart of it.
A common information portal comprising power sector information and demographic data of all member nations is the hallmark of this initiative. The South Asia Energy Database weeds out data asymmetry and streamlines the system, as does a compendium of regulations of every member nation. An institution at the parliamentary level is proposed, Regional Parliamentarian Forum, to build political will around seabed. Another platform, South Asia Think Tank Forum, builds consensus and mobilizes public opinion.
Over the last 10 years, power trade in the South Asia region has more than doubled. Countries have formed policies and regulations that support cross-border power trade. Neighboring countries such as Nepal and Bhutan have recently started participating in the Indian Power Exchange, and various countries are now planning for negotiations for trilateral power trade. Over the past 22 years, USAID through SARI has contributed to these positive developments in the region.
Energy is a perishable commodity, and any interventions to facilitate real-time trade of renewable energy would support sustainable development. This is the thought behind the Government of India's One Sun, One World, One Grid initiative. USAID will continue to support trade of clean energy in South Asia through South Asia Regional Energy Partnership, or SAREP, that was launched by USAID in 2021. It is SARI's successor and will accelerate seabed and establish regional power markets. Several milestones have been achieved through SARI as the stage is set for seabed to accelerate. Electricity trade across these nations will support sustainable development, ensure clean energy access, and power economic development. An energy-rich future is now closer than the horizon, a culmination of efforts and vision of the SARI program.